everybody, we're settled in here for the evening hunt. Now, you know, you've heard us talk about, and if you read Dad's article about venison and how much we like to eat venison around here, this ain't the Food Network by any means, but we're fixing to show you a little tried and true method here, and if you try it, I about guarantee you'll like it. So hang in there and let's see what Dad has to say about it.
Hey everybody, hope you're having a good deer season. We're having a blast here. We actually had a good encounter with a buck this morning, me and Richard. Nice buck. We're going to show you a little show about that here in a week or two. But for now, I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to show you how we prepare venison fillets. If you keep up with the site, I wrote a little piece on how we handle our venison and how much we love to eat venison around here. I'm going to show you a little marinade recipe and how we prepare venison fillets, how we like to do it, and I think you really enjoy it if you give it a try, so let's get after it. Alright guys, we're going to show you our version of a venison fillet, and actually if you bought a fillet, let's say in a restaurant, this is the cut of meat that a fillet would come from. This is actually the tenderloin of the deer. It's on the inside of the carcass, under the ribs, toward the back of the animal, there against the backbone. But on a beef, I mean, this would be big piece of tenderloin, and the fillets would be cut out of that. You can cut fillets out of these. Normally what we'll do is we'll put two of these together and then cut fillets. But what we do, I guess you could call it like a mock fillet, because we use the loin, or what people call the back strap, out of the deer. And this is a whole loin here. It's been cleaned up a little bit. It still has a silver skin on it. And this is a piece of loin that has had all the silver skin off of it. So it's a real nice piece of meat. This is more toward the rear of the animal. This piece, we like to use the front portion on toward the shoulders, is the best part to cut these mock fillets out of. And we'll show you what we do in terms of marinating those and getting them ready to grill. So here's a good example of what we call a mock fillet. So this is getting up toward the shoulder. That's about how thick we like to cut it, about the width of a piece of bacon, and that'll be a delicious little steak there. You could eat 2 or 3 of them if you're like me, but these cooked right are fantastic. So I'm going to show you how we do a marinade, and actually here are the ingredients. We got some salt, pepper, some dried oregano, and some fresh chopped garlic, a half a lemon. We got some toothpicks here to put our bacon around the mock fillet. So what I'm going to do is show you what the base of the marinade is. And the base of the marinade is actually some, what I'm using here is vegetable oil. You want some oil that's like a neutral flavor, not olive oil, but a corn oil, canola oil, or vegetable oil. And there's no right or wrong way to measure this. I just put in here maybe like 1.5 cups or so. And then, secret ingredient, Worcestershire sauce. Secret ingredient in here, anchovies. Read the label. If you don't like anchovies, I'm telling you, you do if you like this stuff. But so put in here, I don't know, 2 or 3 tablespoons. Whatever, you're going to play around with this and get the taste to how you like it. Or you really can't mess it up. There's no right or wrong way. It's fantastic. Dried oregano. Put, you know, again, 2 or 3 tablespoons in there. When you're looking in there and you think that's too much, you're probably just about right. So dried oregano, put a little bit of, you know, 1/4 teaspoon or so, some black pepper, a good amount of salt, maybe 1.5 tablespoons or so of that, and then 5 or 6 cloves of garlic in there with that. And then the lemon, we'll just squeeze like a half a lemon in there, and it doesn't matter if you get the seeds, that's fine. Just squeeze half a lemon in there, a little bit of acid. So that's going to be essentially the marinade. Just stir this up a little bit, and we're going to let that sit there. And actually what we got here is, again, we got some fillets that we've already wrapped in bacon, and again, the farther you go toward the shoulder, the smaller the loin's going to get. So you have the little ones and then the bigger ones toward the tail end. These we'll just put in a container, a Tupperware container or something, and pour the marinade over those and marinate those for about I don't know, 5 or 6 days anyway, is what we like to do. But essentially what you do is you just take your piece of filet there and take a piece of bacon. No, again, no right or wrong way. We just wrap the bacon around there. And what the bacon's going to serve two purposes here. One, obviously it's going to give it some nice flavor, but this is such a lean piece of meat that it's going to add some moisture to the meat as well, and it's also going to help it maintain its shape. Alright, so just wrap a piece of bacon around there, and then after we're done with those, what we'll do is we'll get a Tupperware container, pour marinade in there, and then put the fillets on and pour the rest of the marinade on top, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so you can just get you a Tupperware container, something like this, and what I like to do is start off and just put, you know, some of the marinade in the bottom there. Alright, and then I'll just put my fillets in there. Just line them up in there, stack them in there, it really doesn't matter. I mean, these are just going to sit in here for a few days and soak up all this good stuff in here. Just jam them in there any way you can. So once I have them in there, like so, then I'll go ahead and put the rest of the marinade on top. Alright, this may not look like it makes sense, but trust me it does. So there it is. And we're going to let that sit, again, in the refrigerator for about 5-6 days. Even a week's fine. So you want to keep it in there, and every day or so, just jostle it around and shake it up in there. After 5 or 6, 7 days of that, grill these, no more than medium. Generally, we like medium rare. Big complaint people have on venison is that it's gamey or it's too dry. That's because it's overcooked. This meat is so lean you can't overcook it. So medium rare is what we like with this marinade. You're gonna love it. You're gonna start doing all your venison loins this way.